Hi everyone, Joe Kehrig with the Kehrig Real Estate Team, and this is your weekly Tassajara Valley Blackhawk neighborhood update. If you've been watching me over the past, couple months, you've heard me say that the real estate market is just really nuts out there. But one thing I want to make clear is it's not nuts all the way across the board. And where it's nuts is at million to 2 million, and now it's creeping up over $2 million price range, where people can get 4 or 5 bedrooms and expansive yards. The amazing thing about the market is I can remember my son sold a townhouse in San Ramon 5 years ago, and he sold it for $600,000. Well, one of those just sold for $630,000. So the townhouse condo market hasn't really moved at all. And there's really an opportunity there, because what happens is as home prices in the single family, the million to $2 million mark, go up and up and up, the delta, you used to be able to buy 2 townhouses for what you could get a single family home for now. Now you can buy like 3 or 4 townhouses for what that single family home will buy. And what will happen is prices go up and up. People won't be able to afford them, and they'll drop down into that condo townhouse market because they can't afford a single family anymore. So there's an opportunity there. And why is that opportunity there? Well, a couple reasons. One is because a lot of the people coming from the peninsula into our area are looking for the more expansive 3 to 4 bedroom, the Zoom rooms where the kids can do studying, they can do schoolwork, and the yard where they can go out there and play, because still there's a lot of places closed. Baseball, basketball, are still limited to what you can do out there if you're a kid. So having the yard is important. So there's less demand for, the 2-bedroom condos with basically a patio if you're lucky. And then the other thing is those people in the condo townhouses also want to get that expansive yard and more bedrooms. So what we're seeing is the demand for those are low, and the supply is high, because obviously a lot of people are trying to get out of those, and not a lot of people want to buy them. So there's a good opportunity there. In reverse, a single family home, everyone wants a single family home, but there's hardly any out there. Let's look at the first graph. And if you remember a few weeks ago, we actually saw an uptick in activity where active properties went up and pending properties went down. And we were kind of saying to ourselves, because that's normal for October before an election, because there's a lot of uncertainty. So the market slows down. So what I really wanted to see is, is the market really slowing down? Is it just because it's October? And is it going to be a trend, or is this a blip? Well, let's look at the Tassajara Valley 94506. And you can see what happened. If you look a couple weeks ago, you can see that the pending sales went down a little bit, activity went up. And now look what happened last week. Look at the pending sales have skyrocketed, and look how the active properties have dropped down. So to be honest with you, it's the same old story. Lack of supply and a huge demand, and that's what is driving up the prices. So again, that 1 week blip, that's all it was. And where the market should normally be slowing down right now because of the election, it's not. And again, as we always talked about, after 11 years of this market going up, I've been professionally selling for 42 years, and selling through 5 recessions. You always know that the market's going to correct at some point. And this is the longest bull run we've had. And so my sensible part says, okay, we have to have a correction. But I look at it and sit there and go, what's going to drive that, correction? It's not like a whole bunch of more homes are going to come on the market, and the demand's going to be there. And now the Federal Reserve's talking about the rates are going to be low for another 3 years. So who knows what's going to slow down this market? So you can see Tassajara. Let's look at Blackhawk. Same type of thing, not quite as much, but you can see that the pending sales dropped. You see the active properties have gone up, but look at last week. The pendings picked up a little bit, and the actives dropped down a little bit. Now, you won't see it as out of balance as you'll see it with Tassajara, because the average for sale home is almost $3.5 million, as you'll see in a couple slides that we have here. So let's look at Tassajara. The active listings, the average price is almost 2 million. It's been on the market for over 3 weeks. And look at the pendings and look at the sold properties. Now the sold properties, where you can see where people are picking the low fruit on the tree and the best deals, the average time on the market is 10 days. Now just so you know, if a home sells right away, it's going to show 5 to 7 days on the market because we normally like to put them on Wednesday, Thursday, go through at least one weekend and look at offers on Tuesday or so. So there's 5 to 7 days, and that's if a home sells right away. It's not like it's actually taken a week. Almost all of those homes would have sold in one day if the seller would have taken offers after one day. So you can see the pending and sold selling 105% of asking. So not only is a low fruit being picked off the tree, but it's getting bid up. Now let's look at Blackhawk, and you can see what I mean. This number with the active properties just keeps going up and up. It was 3.3, then it was 3.5, and now it's almost 3.7 million is the average price of the active properties. And you can see the solds are like 1.8. Now, not too long ago, last month, that number was 1.5. And now you've got the pending sales. You see that they're picking the low fruit on the tree, but that fruit's getting higher and higher, where it used to be 1.5, now it's 1.8, and the pending properties are average price at 2 million. And again, still selling over 100% of asking. So where's the opportunity? I would say that if I was a buyer, I would definitely be a buyer in this market because, again, even as high as prices have gone, I shared with you guys a few weeks ago that 49 out of the 50 states homes are more affordable now than they were in 1995, and it's all just because you're looking at 2.75% interest rates. I can remember showing a client a couple weeks ago, and they had sold a home for $1.5 million. We sold them their home for $1.5 million, and they ended up buying something around $3 million. And we were talking. He goes, Joe, at 2.75% interest rates, how can you not buy? And so remember, don't get so fixated on the price. Look at what the costs and with the interest rate. And at the same point, you don't necessarily want to get in a bidding war. But with the election coming up, there could be a little lull in the market. So if you're looking into that holy grail, $1.5 million to $2 million that everyone's looking for, keep an eye on the market. There might just be a blip in the market where you can dive in there. Now, here's where the really opportunity is. If you know anybody who's renting a home, or renting a condo or an apartment or anything like that, my God, if there's any way at all that they can purchase, there's FHA, 3.5% down. There's first-time home buyer programs. And I will tell you that, because when I sold my last home, when my wife and myself sold our last home, in between, we just were renting a little condo. Then we bought a smaller condo because we didn't need a lot. And I went from almost the same size, and I'm saving over $1,000 a month between my payment compared to what I was paying rent. And that doesn't even count the tax write-off, writing off the interest. So if there are people out there renting, my God, if there's any way at all. So if you have, kids, millennials out there that are struggling, and if you can help them out a little bit, let's face it, we all helped our kids out a little bit because it's so damn expensive here. Help them out if you can and get them into that first step, because you are going to see those condo and townhouses start to raise, because as the delta becomes so wide between single family homes and the condo townhouse market, then obviously you're going to see the condo townhouse market start to go up. But if you're thinking about anything about selling or downsizing, on the other side of the coin, it's a great time to downsize, because if you don't need a lot of room and you've got this big house, I'm meeting with a client tomorrow that I sold them their place for like 800 and some odd thousand. It's worth about $1.7 million. And they don't. It's almost 3,000 square feet. They don't need that much room. So they're going to take advantage of the market and probably buy something around $1 million, which, isn't huge. So it's not like it's in that fast-paced type market. But at the same point, they have a delta of $700,000 and they also get a chance to downsize. So if you want to just sit down and discuss it, again, 25% of the people that we meet with end up not selling. But it's good to have all the pieces of the puzzle. And if you know someone who's renting that maybe has the ability to buy, give us a call. Give me a call, because especially if they're millennials, my two sons that work with me, and Stephanie and Corey, and we have Michelle on the team. We've got 4 millennials on the team that would fit right in and understand, where they're coming from. So reach out. My number again, 925-487-6838. Joe Kehrig, joe@kehrigteam.com, or visit our website and you can reach us through there at www.kehrigteam.com. So have a great week. I'll continue to keep you up to date. Give me a call with any questions. And as always, those first responders, the people fighting the fires, all the medical people, our military out there, our police officers, may God bless them that are giving us our freedom. We're going to be going to the polls in a couple of weeks. And unlike a lot of countries, we still have some freedoms with us. And it's because of those people. So may God bless them. May God bless you. And may God bless your family. And we'll see you in a couple of weeks.